Hello everyone, it's Dragon Crick aka Lee O'Brien, and I know this seems really repetitive of me to do this. The Talk About show is the new series of live streams where I'll be going live with other people. And the last time I did this, I did it with Iron Bat 1993, Super Jordan Reviews, and Furiosity. And the stream went pretty crappy because of the terrible Wi-Fi connection to the computer. It's because of OBS, and I'm sorry. So I made the decision that I'm gonna re-record it, and I'll start recording Hangout calls. I mean, it just seems a bit more easier. I mean, there's no way I can turn down the quality for to get good reception like I do for my Elgato streams on my Scanners channel. But in this talk about show, we'll be talking about Toy Story 4, Kung Fu Panda 4, Spider-Man Far From Home, the Lion King remake, or as Harry would like to call, the Shit King, as it deserves to be titled. Ugly Dolls, Angry Birds 2, and the boring Playmobil movie, which just came out. So, Mr. Pajak, introduce yourself.
Um, okay. Well, hello. I I'm a friend of Lee's. My name's Ollie, otherwise known as Mr. Talis 11. Some of you may or may not know me, but yeah. No, thanks Lee for having me on. Very nice. Very good.
Ew, of course it's very nice. Yeah, so,
Very
would you,
nice.
would you like to give your thoughts on Toy Story 4?
Yeah. Sure. Well, I personally really loved and enjoyed Toy Story 4. I do agree that it wasn't entirely necessary to have Toy Story 4. Um, I mean, I was just as skeptical as anybody when Pixar announced they were making Toy Story 4. Um, I have to say that I was very surprised at how good it was. I know Lee's not going to agree with me on this, but yeah, no, I really thought it was very well done. It was a wonderful film, very charming, very moving. Not quite as dark as the third one, but I think welcomely so. I don't think I think it is the weakest of the four, but I highly recommend it. I've seen it a few times, and I really enjoy it each time more and more. It's a delightful film, better than some of the crap we get nowadays. So you know, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can sort of see about it being a surprise. I mean, I suppose at best I'll say it's enjoyable, but I just think like my problem was like nothing. The first two acts, nothing really happened. I was kind of just bored, and the movie went by really quick. Like a lot of things happened later than I thought it would, and I just think the ending, I just felt they did a bit of a predictable move. You know when this then like it's like oh then so let's just I'm gonna try not spoil it. But I know a lot of people have seen it, but I won't spoil it because I'm nice and all. And yeah, as I'm a very nice person. Well, I try to anyway. But I think they just kind of went that, oh no, like, oh, this can't happen, but then, oh, it can happen. It just kind of went that predictable route, and I just think just didn't work, and I just think overall it was just, it's not terrible, it's definitely better. I mean, I agree with Ollie that it's better than most of the crap you'd get nowadays. It's better than the other crappy animated films that came out in the summer, but would I say it's the best movie of the summer? No. I know a lot of people probably would, but nah, the next summer film we talk about I think is the best, but it is definitely decent at best. I'm gonna give it a 6. I might even give it a 7. It's enjoyable. Like, it's not it's at least watchable. Like it's not terrible. It's not like Shrek the Third.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's been a while since the third as well. It was like 9 years since Toy Story 3. Um, so yeah, and we all thought it was done, but no. Yeah,
Well, I mean, I thought it was all right at best. I mean, it's enjoyable. I'll say that. But I mean, I mean,
Pixar have made worse, much worse.
yeah, they have. I think Brave is their worst film. Oh, that movie's awful.
Yeah, Brave was not their best. I still think the Cars trilogy is worse than Brave. Well, one and two are, but Brave could have been so much better.
All right. Would you have anything else you want to say about the fourth film, or?
Um, I like the fact that it was an ending for Woody. It was like Woody's conclusion because Woody needed to mature and he needed to grow, and he needed to let go of Andy as well. Because obviously, I like the story, the way they explained how he was kind of useless since Bonnie had taken in the toys, and he was trying to find a purpose in life. And I thought the movie had a dramatic core that really worked, and I loved seeing Bo Peep come back. Bo was really good, and I liked that they updated her character a little bit, and they made her more of a badass. It was really cool. And I think there's a lot of new characters as well. My only issue with Toy Story 4 was that the original um, characters don't get a huge amount to do. But other than that, it's pretty great. I liked Gabby Gabby. Her story was good. And Ducky and Bunny were quite funny.
Did
Especially
someone say bunnies?
when they're attacking the old lady. It's quite funny. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's got like the genius of the first three, but I thought it was a very good film, and I thought the ending it wasn't like heartbreaking. I mean, I wasn't crying, but it was emotionally satisfying, at least. And I think it was like an extension of Toy Story 3 in terms of an ending. It's like part two of the ending. Um, that's kind of how I see it. But yeah, I think if this is to be the last Toy Story movie, then they've done a great job at ending it. Yeah, it's a very very strong film, and yeah, also I love the music as well, especially when we saw Buzz's theme come back from the second film. That was good. Oh yeah, and happy 20th anniversary Toy Story 2. And I would score Toy Story 4 a 9 out of 10.
Well, fair enough. Yeah, like I said, I'd give it a six, maybe a seven, but yeah, I can sort of see where you're coming from, like it being like a part two, but yeah, I don't think there's a lot to say about for me personally. But next up, well, the fourth Kung Fu Panda movie. Huh. Um, I've said a lot of my predictions. How I want the fourth movie to go. Like, I want to know how. I really want to know more information about it. DreamWorks haven't said anything. It's really been Jack Black that's been referencing it, hinting at it, and all that, and yada yada yada. But I think this is going to be the last one of the quadrilogy, and I think it's going to be a very satisfying conclusion to the franchise. I think the idea of six films is just terrible. It's just you're gonna mess up like along the way, and you're gonna fuck up the plan. Like you won't know what to do, and it'll come a big screw up. But I think making just one more, I think is gonna work, and I want to know how this film ends. I hope they kill off Shifu for the stakes to be high, and I think it's gonna be kind of like How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World in terms of the conclusion and the character development and all that, the way we had to see a more independent side of Hiccup and Hiccup's relationship with Astrid, Hiccup's relationship with Toothless, and all these conclusion stories. And I want to know. I think it would be cool if Poe at the end of it, Poe retires from Kung Fu, and then him and Tiger start a new life, and then I think they'll adopt a snow tiger, and then he'll tell him the story about like all these legendary warriors who like defended the valley. I think, would you agree, Ollie? It'd be nice to see maybe nice to see Poe wear his outfit that we saw in the dream sequence of the first film, since this would be the conclusion of his arc.
Um, I guess so, yeah. Because Poe has come on a journey. I mean, and he's throughout the three films, well, possibly four films, you know, I think to have him you know, have to give up kung fu, I think would be a good way to end the story. And I think he would almost become the new Uguay, if that makes sense. He was once
I
kind
can
of
definitely see your point there. I think I
Yeah,
wonder how they're gonna make the new villain. Like I want to know, like you said, oh they always have a villain from the past. This one could be like from the present. And I think I was talking with Iron about 1993 about it. He said he would like to see a villain connected to Tigress. And I don't know if that would work. I mean, I kind of just want to see. Maybe I was talking with New Yorker one day. Maybe a villain that could like, oh, he's been trying to be in the same position as Poe, and like he thinks Poe just kind of received it in the snap, kind of. And when I say
yeah. I
snap,
mean,
I don't mean any
you
reference
could
to
argue,
Thanos.
you could argue Tai Lung was kind of like that because he was trying to be the Dragon Warrior in the first movie, and yet he was denied because he wasn't the right person. So yeah,
True.
I want them to rehash the first one.
I guess in some cases I could definitely see your point. I think really, um, Tai Long, he's a very. I think my only issue is that I have to agree with Corey's reviews on this. He's a cool villain. He's just not that intimidating. He's just the way I think. Yeah, I mean, I remember in the reflection we did back in 2017, you said that you wished he got more screen time. And now that I
Yeah,
think of it, yeah, I guess they could have gave him more screen time. Maybe when I rewatch the first movie, my thoughts on Tai Long as a villain might change, but I definitely prefer Kai and Shen, and I even prefer Drago and Grimmel, surprisingly enough. But he's still, I think Tai Long's awesome. He definitely kicks ass, but I think really Ian McShane. Now nothing wrong with Ian McShane. He does great job, but I don't know. Maybe the voice just seems a bit too rawr for his character. If you get what I mean.
well, I suppose he's meant to. I mean, he is some kind of leopard, isn't he? So
True. Although I'm interested though. Like we've had a snow leopard, we've had a peacock, a peacock. Okay, sorry. Um,
yeah,
we've had a
and he
bull or a yak. What are they gonna do for the fourth movie? What animal do you think they'll do?
I mean, who knows? It would have been cool to see a serpent, but then that's kind of more Lincoln Piper. But I don't really know. It's hard to say, really.
Agree with. Harry thinks we should have a dragon. I don't. I'm just like how. Like I'm really curious. Like how is it gonna work out? And like they could do a Komodo dragon, but then it's like, oh, wouldn't you be kind of repeating the TV show? And I'm just curious. Like, oh, what animal are we gonna use? And we just have to wait and see. I mean, DreamWorks are definitely known for having surprises for this franchise, especially in terms of the movies. But how do you
Yeah.
think the fourth movie will end to wrap up the storyline, in your opinion?
Um, I can't really say how I think it will end, but I could say how I want it to end. Um, it's, I guess I would love Pose to have a good ending. You know, I think to sort of, I think maybe address his age a bit because I'm assuming he'll be fairly old, depending on the years. I'm not sure the timeline, but I think he'll kind of become like Uguay and find, just kind of he may just ascend like Uguay did into the spirit realm, or he might find peace with Tigress, and maybe there'll be more of a romance. I mean, there's many possibilities, but it's sort of it's hard to say really at this stage when we don't really know anything about the movies.
That's a very good prediction, Ollie. I like that idea as well. Although, how do you think they should kill off Shifu? Do you think they should kill him the same way they killed off Stoic, or do you think they should do it the same way they killed off Uguay?
I don't really know. With Shifu, it's a tough one because he's not really a father figure to Poe. Um, I mean, maybe. I mean, I suppose I could envision Shifu dying in Tigress's arms. I don't know. I think he would. I think he would. His death would be sacrificial. He would probably sacrifice himself for them. Um, I really don't know. It's I'm not sure.
I can sort of see your point, although I think maybe he'll get killed off. But yeah, there's not a lot to really say about the fourth movie. I'll talk. I mean, I think when Jumanji 2 comes out, Jack Black might get asked about it, and we might get an announcement, maybe
Wait, you
even
mean
a
Jumanji
poster.
3?
Or sorry, I'm back. But yeah, I'd say we might when Jumanji 2 comes out, we'll get an announcement about the film, maybe like a poster, maybe, but not not for a while. We'll get something, but I'd say it possibly could come out maybe in the 2020s. When do you think it'll come out, Ollie?
At the
Wait,
earliest,
hello?
2021. But yeah, I'm still here. I'd say the earliest 2021, but more likely 2022.
Wait, Ollie, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Can
Oh,
you not hear
sorry,
me?
sorry, I had my computer on mute. Sorry, I couldn't hear
Yeah,
you. I forgot my computer was on mute. Sorry about that.
that's all right.
But is there if you say that again, please, because I couldn't hear you.
Sorry, what was the question?
When do you think the fourth movie will come out, in your opinion?
Oh yeah, the earliest 2021, but I think more likely 2022. I mean, it could be later than that. Don't know.
Fair enough. But all right. Next stop. Um, Spider-Man: Far From Home. Give us your thoughts, Mr. Pajak.
Well, yeah, I enjoyed this one. After seeing it a few times now, I have come to the conclusion that I prefer it over Spider-Man: Homecoming. I think it's a better film than Homecoming. Still think though it lacks dramatic weight, at least for the most part. Other than like the romance relationship, it really doesn't have a dramatic core. It's just another fun. It's a fun road movie, whereas the first one was a high school movie. So, and that's what I think the Tobey Maguire Sam Raimi trilogy has. It has a huge dramatic heart, whereas it doesn't. Although I do like Mysterio, he's a good villain. Uh, Act of the movie is a bit slow, and not all of the humor works in the movie. It's a little bit hit and miss, but it's a generally entertaining movie, um, and it is quite funny. I mean, it's an MCU movie, but no, I think Tom Holland is once again very good. Peter. So yeah, yeah,
Fair enough. Yeah, I have to say, I adore this movie. I love it. I love it with passion. I really loved it. I saw it 3 times in cinemas, and I adore it. It got better and better, and it made me laugh. And some stakes. As I actually got worried during the stakes, especially when the Mysterio's kind of like doing his shape shifting on Peter, if that's the right word to describe it. But but yeah, and I
yeah,
like how Mysterio kind of looks like bearded Hiccup, so that's a plus. But yeah, it's my second favorite Spider-Man movie. It could actually be my favorite. Into the Spider-Verse is a tough one to top, and that movie's obviously amazing. But yeah, I definitely think Far From Home was great. What do you think of Brad Davis, Ollie, and the teacher, Mr. Dell, I think his name is.
yeah. The teachers are. I mean, they're kind of funny, but they're weirdly sarcastic. It's a little. It's a little. Uh, it's a little weird to be honest, but yeah, no. And who else was it? Oh, Brad. Yes. I think Brad is all right. He's a decent character, but I don't remember ever seeing him in the comics at all. I mean, there's that funny scene where he walks in on Peter and that random Asian woman um, when
European woman.
when when she's telling him to take his clothes off. Yeah.
It just sounds a bit weird when you said when she's telling him to take his clothes off.
I mean, it's what she does. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a good film. It's funny. It's I think Tom Holland is going to be around for a while.
Definitely. I think Tom Holland's going to be playing him for a long time, and I think this is a great movie. I love it, and I can't wait. And oh, did you see the post-credit scenes? We won't talk spoilers,
I,
but did you see them?
yeah, I saw both the scenes.
Oh, nice. We won't spoil them, but we won't say
Yeah,
anything.
no, no.
Nah, we can't spoil them. I really want to talk spoilers, but I don't. I just don't want to. I didn't give a warning, so there you go. Right, next up, before we get to the best part of this conversation, which is the Lion King remake, um, Ollie, would you like to give us your thoughts on Angry Birds movie 2? Like, I know you haven't seen the film, but like through trailers and all that, and as well as the first movie.
Well, yeah, I haven't seen the first movie either, so I can't really say much. But I'll just say that judging from the trailers, Angry Birds 2 looks well, not great. I mean, it's aimed more for kids anyway, so I'm sure they'll get something out of it. But for me, it looks like trash, to be honest. Other than the animation.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, Iron 1993, I actually asked him about the second one and the first one. He just said, nah, I didn't bother with the first one because it looked bad. It looked like your typical kids movie. And I remember at the first one back in 2016 when I was younger, I actually gave it a 9 out of 10. And I'm like, wow, did my thoughts change as I get older? It's like when you see a lot of kids movies when you're only a kid, you like, right, they really enjoy them, but then you get older, you just think, they're decent, they're not great, but I just think the first one's decent. The second one I expected to be okay, but it turned out being really mediocre, and it's boring. That's what's wrong with it. It's boring, 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 very, very boring. It's just a bore fest, and like I don't
Yeah,
get how.
based off the game, isn't it?
Sorry?
Based off the game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's based on an app. I mean, why can't we get a Skylanders movie? Well, we have a TV show, but at least a Skylanders movie. That would be great, and you can make it dark and mature. I mean, that would fit Skylanders anyway.
Yeah, I suppose. I'm sure a lot of people will go and see a Skylanders movie.
Well, like, would you see a Skylanders movie? I mean, I know you probably have no experience with the games or not even interest, but like, if they made one, would you actually review it?
Um, well, I might review it, but I wouldn't like actively go and see it.
Well, fair
Not really.
enough. I'd like to see a Skylanders movie, even a Spyro movie. There was originally gonna be a Spyro movie, but then they cancelled it. But yeah, obviously that never happened. But yeah, I mean, I think the Angry Birds movie too. It's just boring, and I think like I said, just go see something like Spider-Man Far From Home, or even Toy Story 4. Right, next up, the Playmobil movie. Would you like to give us your thoughts on like the trailers and all that, Ollie?
No, not really. um, yeah. Well, I mean, it looks very bad from what I can tell. Um, I don't have any desire to really see it. It looks completely dumb. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say, really.
Fair enough, but to me, as I just reviewed it, it's just it was really mediocre. And now that I think about it, now that my thoughts are going through my brain, now that my brain is making up my thoughts, it was just it was boring. It was absolutely boring. There is
Oh,
one funny moment, which is like Rex Dasher, and that's like the only funny bit. And like, it's just boring. The animation, yeah, it looks nice, but I mean, like the Ugly Dolls, don't release that shit in cinemas. Work on the animation a little more. Make it finished. Make it polish it. Give it a nice little polish, as what Principal Thomas would say. But that, oh, I'm trying to think of what Principal Thomas might say. I don't know, but
mm,
nah, Harry's not here. But I mean, it's just boring. It's an absolute bore fest. It's just ugh. And I hear in America they don't get it until like the end of December, and we get it in the beginning of August. That's a bit odd, but all right. But
Well, maybe be far better that they don't get it at all, really, by the sound of it.
yeah, it'd be better if anyone didn't get it at all. If it was just a straight to DVD release. Like I don't get. Like I said, my Angry Birds 2 review. Like why is it like with all these kids movies, Secret Life of Pets, Angry Birds, they can get sequels, but Legend of the Guardians can't. I just don't get that. Like, what? Okay, yeah, I get like they're more light-hearted than Gahul, but I mean, like, why couldn't Gahul make any money? Like, that just that just
Yeah,
baffles me. Like, why can okay, Angry Birds can get a sequel, even the Boss Baby can get a sequel, but Legend of
because
the Guardians can't.
they both made money.
Sadly, but I mean, Gahul. That should have made money. Like, wouldn't you agree, Ollie? That really need that should have made a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree.
If that made money, we probably could have gotten a sequel in, like the same year as How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Yeah.
Actually, question about that. I saw a comment that if they do make sequels, do you think they could do 5 movies? Like, how would you feel about that? Since there's so many books.
Um, I would be okay with it as long as the movies were good. Yeah, and I said the same about Fantastic Beasts. They decided to stretch that to 5 movies, and I said, okay, fine, just make the movies good. You know, yeah, don't make it for the sake of making money. I want it to be for creative purposes, and I think you could do something with Guardians being 5. I mean, it seems like there's a very expansive lore, so yeah, no.
That,
I mean, if that's if,
that's what I love about the lore. Like, I want to see more of that storyline. I want to see more of these warriors fighting, and I want to see more of that story. And that just seems like a really great idea. And there's so many ideas for sequels and all, and I really want to see it. I'd love to. I really want to go. I really want to see a sequel, and hopefully someday we will. I might even direct it if I could, but Fury Oddity said he might be doing a sequel if he gets the rights, but that chances are very mixed of that happening. But you'll find out in a possible Legend of the Guardians 2 interview when I do a call with him on possibly soon. But yeah, alright, so Ugly Dolls. Do you want to give your thoughts first, or will I give my thoughts first?
after you,
Alright, alright, fair enough. But okay, so alright, but yeah, this film
yeah,
fucking awful. It's awful. It's horrible. This is a bad movie, and it's just the story I couldn't care for. Even now that I'm talking about, it, I already forgot what happened in it. It's not very memorable. It's awful. It's dragged. The songs in it are terrible. And I watched this with Harry, and Harry even said, "Oh, it's just awful." And I mean, I guess the animation's nice, but it's not something you'd pay for to be in cinemas. You need stunning animation. I get that movies can have a low budget, but at least make them look like worthy to be on the big screen. There's a difference between a TV looking budget and a cinema looking budget. Like you could even maybe have better lighting. Maybe set the lighting a little bit darker. Like you could have the lighting a little bit maybe even darker, but you don't need like kiddie. And that's another problem. It's kiddie garbage, and you know what I mean. Like the musical, it's just awful, and
yeah.
it's a fucking awful film. But give us your thoughts on like the trailers and posters, Mr. Pajak. Feel free to.
Uh, uh, well, judging from the trailer, because I hadn't seen the movie, I hadn't paid for that piece of shit. Um, it, uh, yeah, oh God, it basically comes across similarly to Trolls, it's just like a cash in all these pop songs, and they basically cast the movie with all these pop artists just so they can sing songs in the film. And I mean, there's that trailer when one of the dolls wakes up and starts singing, "Oh, good morning," it's a good day, or whatever the fuck the song
Oh, that's at
called.
the
I don't know.
beginning of the movie, and it's awful.
Yeah, and it just reminds me of Trolls. DreamWorks have definitely made that movie shit. So yeah, this just, I mean, it looks like it's just gonna pander to little kids, and if you're gonna do something for kids, fine, yeah, by all means. But I'd say make it intelligent and put something. You don't have to necessarily put something behind it. You can make something fun, but just a little bit of intelligence when making
Yeah,
a kids film. You
I
can't just
agree.
think,
Like,
oh yeah, do this, but no. So I won't be seeing it.
agreed. If you're trying to have a kids movie, at least have intelligence. Like, How to Train Your Dragon, Kung Fu Panda, they're kids movies. They're mainly made for children, but like when you watch them, they're very mature. They have strong emotional core, interesting characters, relatable even. And I think kids look up to them more than like shit like UglyDolls. I mean, I know DreamWorks don't get the credit they deserve, and I mean that's true. I mean I think DreamWorks just don't get that much credit because they have made a lot of bad films like Boss Baby, Trolls, just Shrek the Third, blah. But I think really like the Panda and Dragon films, they're great. They're fantastic. They're amazing. And I give all of them a 10 out of 10, especially The Hidden World. That gets an infinity out of 10 from me. But I mean like, if it's a kids movie, at least put intelligence in it. Like, would you agree with that, Ollie? Like a kids movie needs to learn from them and have intelligence and make it feel like a family film.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course I agree. I was the one that made the point. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
no.
I agree. Like, Lego Movie 2, just, I mean, I could say at the very least it does have a strong message, but that's about it. And just, everything else just don't remind me. Hello! But nah, that movie just, messy. But even when I went to go see that in cinemas, the same flaws I had with it, I even said to myself, yeah, I mean it was good, but it just there's a lot of flaws with it, and as my brain was collecting all these thoughts and adding them into my brain, I just went, I did not like that film at all, and I really I even watched it again, gave it a second chance, and I just didn't like it, and I even lost interest in the Ninjago TV show. Like I even felt like watching that again after the shitty Playmobil movie. But I think really it's just whenever I think of Ninjago, I always get reminded of the second Lego movie. I loved the first Lego movie. I enjoyed Lego Batman. Lego Ninjago's good, but it is very underwhelming. But I mean, I still think it's good at best. But TV show's great, even if I haven't seen it in a while. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just, but back to Ugly Dolls when like kids movies being mature. Like, I mean, definitely, yeah. I mean, kids movies can be mature. Like, I bet Stoic probably agrees with this. I mean, Stoic, like, don't you agree with this?
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like you should make a good, mature kids movie. Don't make something crappy. Don't. And like the Boss Baby is an example of a crappy kiddie movie.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, I mean, it's awful, and that movie's horrible. But yeah, Ugly Dolls, no, just fuck it. But now
This
onto
Toy
the best part of this talk about show, the Lion King
uh,
remake. I'll give my thoughts on it first. I have not seen the
Lee,
movie, but I'll just add it
Lee,
in since it came out. But
Lee,
yeah. Oh,
before we move on to that, can I just take this time to appreciate that Toy Story 4 had some great characters, like this big guy.
oh, You do know
No,
they
I'm
won't
sorry.
be able to see that because I have the picture of the Talk About Show thumbnail. So I'll just say what it is. It's just that me and Ollie have a lot of calls. You know, we mess around a lot. We make jokes about each other and all. But yeah, we
Yeah,
just we have a Toy Story 4 music video. At the beginning when it goes, I was a lonesome cowboy. Well, there's like one clip where Bunny's like running around, and it's just it looks so funny. But yeah, but back onto Lion King.
yeah, really.
But back onto the Lion King remake. The Lion King remake just, I mean, yeah, it looks visually cool, but it just, but what was the point of making it? You know, it's just like the Lion King isn't even that old, and you know, it's just like it's been like what 24 years since the original.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, yeah, 25 years. Yeah.
Oh right, but I mean, why not re-release the Lion King or just make it like with computer animated visuals? That
Exactly.
could have been cool. But I mean,
Well,
it just
essentially what they did, but it was just crap. Yeah.
not really. It's just live action with computer animation. You could have made it something like Legend of the Guardians. I
Well,
mean, you could have.
the only live action, the only live action elements are the backgrounds, like the landscapes. The characters are all CGI.
True, but they look real. I mean, like Gahul, that looked real. But I think Gahul probably looks better
Yeah.
visually than this. But I mean, like what I'm saying is that
No, I'd say it looks real to a point. There's no. I mean, okay, fair enough. They want it to be realistic, but they could at least given the characters some emotional expression. But no.
oh yeah, the emotions are dead. And as Harry would call it, the Lesser King. I think Harry should have called it the Shit King. That would have been made it more of a funny rant. But yeah. So Ollie, give us your whole thoughts on the Lion King remake.
Long live the shit that is this movie. Um, I hate this movie. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Apologize for somebody trampling all over one of my favorite movies ever made. The Lion King is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, animated movie.
I was just about
It's
to ask that
so
actually. What was your favorite animated film? But that's actually a good choice. You and Harry both agree what's the best animated film in general, the original Lion King. Sweet.
yeah.
Alright, sorry, I shouldn't be speaking over you.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. No problem. Um, but I mean, I was as soon as I heard they were doing a remake of The Lion King, I lost it. I was furious, but I tried to forget about it, but obviously it crept up very quickly. Um, so yeah, very sadly the movie sucks. It doesn't help that it's a shot-for-shot remake, but also when they do make changes, they just changes for no reason. And I think the cast are all emotionless, even though like the actors, well, some of them try, but the expressions on the faces are dead, so it's kind of pointless anyway to even really. Uh, you can't get emotionally invested like you could with the original. I mean, yes, the movie is visually stunning, and it will probably win an Oscar for the visual effects. But the visual effects carry a movie, in my opinion. No, it's not enough. We say this movie looks good. That's not good enough anymore. Age where visual effects have taken over. Like since Toy Story, the first one, CGI has really taken over film, and it's becoming too heavily relied on. I mean, they could not have remade The Lion King without the technology. They literally couldn't. They couldn't literally go out to Africa and film real lions to do what they needed to do. They would have got killed in the process. Yeah, and tell me, Simba, is that to die for? It's yeah, I just hated what they did with the songs, and the cast was so bland. Like Beyonce as Nala, give me a fucking break. Like, then they casted Beyonce for star appeal. Let's be honest. They sing "Can You Feel the Love" in the afternoon. Yeah, well, no, I can't feel the love. It's no, it's like, it just annoyed me. And every time Beyonce sings, she was just a slur voice around like this. Can you feel the love? He does that, and then there's this other song as well that they add in called Spirit. Spirit, what the actual fuck? Like, it works so much better with the two of them just running back to Pride Rock with the slow motion and the music from the first film. Sorry, the original film. Um, but yeah, it fucking sucks. It's terrible. It's such a terrible slog to sit there. It's half an hour longer than the original as well, which doesn't help. They fucked up the hyenas. No bonsai and Ed. We get these other two fuckwits called Azizi and
It's
Kamari. I can't remember the names. Some shitty humor. Shenzi's way too serious. Not even the kids are very good. Um, Again, and the whole thing, it doesn't even look that realistic. It looks photorealistic, but not like, you know. I still think that it looks like, and I've said this before, it looks like very well rendered PS4, PS5. That's
PS4
how good.
graphics.
Yeah, but it's true. I mean, to me, it's true anyway. And Rafiki's a fucking stoner in this film. I swear to God. I mean, he speaks English half the time, and he's just kind of jumping around as his monkey self. There's none of that character that he had in the original film. And the movie's a drag. It goes on too long, and there's a stupid reference to another Disney film in there, which I won't spoil in case you want to see this movie. But oh god, it just pissed me the fuck off. Timon and Pumbaa are boring. Didn't really like them at all.
You mean one of them was voiced by Mantis in the Kung Fu Panda films?
Yeah, Seth Rogen. I mean, I don't mind Seth Rogen. Like, he's he's a fun guy. I don't think he was right for Pumbaa to save his life. Yeah, James Earl Jones was the most disappointing, really, because he completely phoned in his performance as Mufasa. His second performance as Mufasa. God, and it saddens me that this movie's made so much money already. It really saddens me that it's outgrossed the original film.
I wonder how Harry would react to that.
Yeah, well, I can imagine he'll probably do a rant video on it. I don't blame him, to be fair. I mean, and it's one of the weakest Jon Favreau movies I've ever seen. He basically relies on the original film to tell the story, present the original film in, to realistic CGI, stage. Let's just say that. Let's call it stage. John Oliver as Zazu, terrible. It's such a mess. It really is such a mess. I can't begin to describe how awful it made me feel. I went to a midnight screening of this film, and oh god, I was just so disappointed with it. I mean, other than the visuals and maybe one or two of the actors, it really wasn't very good. And I say stick to the original. I give this movie a 3 out of 10. It's terrible. Not like disastrous. I mean, there are a couple of funny moments in there. There are some nice callbacks to the original film. Oh, but as a remake, sorry, I say thumbs down on that one.
Yeah, I think from the sounds of it, just doesn't sound that good. I have heard mixed feelings. I have heard from someone that it's a great movie, and I've heard from the obvious, like you and Harry and most other people saying that it's not that great. But I mean, I'm hearing mixed things about it. I think it's kind of like a Kung Fu Panda 3 situation where there's like that group of people that'll say it was amazing, but then there's going to be the group of people that will say that was a massive disappointment after the masterpiece that was Kung Fu Panda 2. Well, yeah, I mean, I just don't see, like, what was the point of this remake, He could have just, like, it's...
Ding, ka-ching, ka-ching.
Ka-chinga, ka-chinga. Funny, actually.
Ka-chinga.
But yeah, I mean, it's
I do.
pointless.
Nah. Yeah,
I mean, at least,
terrible.
you know what I mean? Like, he thinks he has to remake it alone because his father had to. But I mean, like, I think really it's just, ugh, I mean, it's just like, what was the point of making it? But I mean, I can't say much. I was about to say it's boring, but I can't say because I haven't seen it. But would you like me to make a review on it? Like, do you think I could review it?
Well, stick for it, yes.
I might. We'll see. Might make a review of it before the summer ends.
I mean,
Um,
don't pay to see it unless you really want to. I mean, what's your stance on the original film?
I think it's great. I can't say a lot. I might review it, maybe. I have reviewed it like a long time ago when I was a kid. I'll probably now give it a 10, but I mean, Lion King's a fantastic film. I mean, it's great, but I mean, don't remake it. Jungle Book is remake worthy. The Jungle Book remake was amazing. But Lion King, just what's the point of remaking it like so soon?
Well, yeah, again, ka-ching, money. Like, how do you like? On what basis do you decide whether something is remake worthy, as you put it?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess in some cases you could remake Legend of the Guardians, you could, but what's the point of that either? I mean, that was only 9 years ago.
Yeah, I think it's always Toy Story 3, and they made Toy Story 4.
That's a different though. That's a sequel.
Yeah, true, but they could still make a sequel to Legend of the Guardians.
Oh, do your sword impression.
Legend tells of a sequel to a movie that nobody asked for, but yet the sequel never got made. Now I'm fucking ran.
Yeah, and today, alright, so you say in the Lion King remake, I just fuck it. It's a fucking disgraceful film. It's awful. It's just horrible. That's probably what Soren would say. Would you like to give more thoughts on the movie, Soren? It's awful. Don't see it. I even had to go away from Claude because of it. He's the one that made me go see it because he loved the original when he was an owlet.
And then Lies of Q just turns around and says, "Hey, Soren, Hakuna Matata."
Akuna Matata, Akuna Matana, Soren. It's hard to say in an Easelrib accent.
Means no worries for the rest of your days. So problem free philosophy. Hakuna Matata. Fuck that movie.
Can you imagine Stoic singing Akuna Matata?
Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Yeah, no, I can't imagine. He probably shouts it more than anything else. It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's a problem-free Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matana. Hakuna Matana. Hakuna Matana, alright, mate. But yeah, I mean, I just didn't. And funny enough, the Lion King remake came out exactly a day after I came back from Turkey. I came back from Turkey July 18th, and that movie came out July 19th.
He would have avoided the Lion King. Should have stayed in Turkey. Would have avoided the release.
Well, I don't know when it came out in Turkey. Probably came out. Did it come out like everywhere worldwide on July 19th?
I believe so, unless I'm wrong. But I don't know.
Who gives a crap anyway?
Yeah, shit movie.
Except for Stoic, he'd care. He loves Lion King.
What am I gonna do? Run, run away and never return.
Long live the chief.
Yeah, that would be funny. They did like a hamstring a dragon version of The Lion King.
Oh, help me, Stoic.
Go on, brother, help me. I used to wait one with the king. And he throws him off the cliff. Oh.
Hiccup, you wanna go for a honeymoon?
So many things to tell her, but how to make her see the truth about my past is impossible. She'd get away from me.
Alright, yeah, we're gonna end this podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed this. And Stoic and Ollie, would you like anything to say before I stop recording?
And you feel Beyonce tonight. Her voice will hit your ears. Feelings through days uncertainty. I'll shove my dick in it. Thank you for having me on. It's been fun. Until next time, baby.
Until next time, baby. So I just met you, and this is crazy. So here's my number, and call me baby.
Fuck me, baby.
Alright, we'll see you guys next time, and skadoosh.